Hey everyone, it's TV dinner time. Kick your shoes off, get comfy. Today we're talking about episodes 4, 5, and 6 of Shogun Season 1. We had a previous episode, I believe came out last week. We're recording this May 15, 2024, where we watched episodes 1 through 3. So now we're jumping into the next 3 episodes. And to close out the season, we're going to watch and then record episodes 7, 8, 9, and 10. Wow, that's a lot of episodes. But we're going to get through it and we'll talk about it. So today we're doing 4, 5, and 6. So we'll get into it.
Yeah. And 4, 5, and 6, like you said, you before we jumped on this, it's a lot of build up. And these last 3 episodes are definitely one of the biggest things I wrote down for myself after this last one too, is I can see a lot of people thinking that these ones are boring. These ones are kind of like less, but it's almost like when you're like when you're watching like Game of Thrones, like when like there's literally like one portion where it's like they're traveling for the entire episode. It's like, well, yeah, that makes sense because it's like they're riding on a horseback.
You have to get to the finale. And that's kind of where my mind went. Like, I watched 5. That's the thing that gets me though, is it's a lot of build up and then something cool will happen. And you're like, oh, okay, I'm excited for the next episode. And then you get to the next episode, and then that's like a super quick scenario in the episode, and then it goes back to build up, and you're like, can I have more of this? Like, what's going on?
But I'm guessing these last like 4 episodes, I'm assuming there's probably another one of like story building.
I think 7's like gonna be build up. Yeah, 8, 9, and 10 should be amazing. I have my fingers crossed on that. Should be.
I'm assuming 7, the next one, is going to be like a more of like the set pieces moving. Because he did say that he's going to do that like Crimson Sky at the end of the last episode that we watched, right? Where he's going to be basically doing a coup and he's setting himself up to be Shogun.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
So I gotta ask you, why is every TV show and movie a love story now?
Or it has to have some like love story inside of it.
Yeah, like some weird love. Like this lady is married. I know you know the characters' names. I watched damn near all of Game of Thrones. I didn't put half the characters' names in my brain. I'm not doing that with this because there's too many characters. So I'm going to refer to them as that guy that looks like Tom Hardy and the main lady that's a translator. Yeah. She has a whole husband and this guy is still trying to get with her, which is insane.
Patty definitely, when she first started watching the show with me, she was like, I know it's going to turn into like this love story between them two, but she's like, there's no point of that. Like, just kind of give me the meat and potatoes. Yes. Yeah, like just give me the good stuff and everything. And granted, some people are like, yeah, the love story is the good stuff. But even with her, like she likes watching Bridgerton and like these like things that are like
that's
full-on love stories. Yeah, but she even knows that like in this like setting or something in this type of story, I guess it's like it's nice for like a character arc, but it's like I don't know, sometimes you don't need it, and it's not.
Yeah, we have enough build up around this show. We don't need that too. Like, come on, like we know exactly where you're going with it. Don't do it.
Apart from hating the love story, I guess, or like not really caring for it, the end of the episode 4, where someone comes into the bedroom with the guy that looks like Tom Hardy and sleeps with him. It's very shadowy and everything. And so you're like, who is that? Who's that girl? Is that the translator? Who do you think?
It's obviously the translator. The fact that they started acting funny in episode 5 and then her husband appears and it's like, oh my goodness. I think it was...
Yeah, Patty was like, oh yeah, she went on Reddit and everyone was like, I turned up the brightness of it to see if it's actually her and everything. But I'm like, all right, it'd be kind of nice if it wasn't her. Like if like he believes it was her, but then she was like, no, I just sent some woman to like go into your bedroom.
Yeah. No, but then you saw her reaction when she had to translate for him when he went to the brothel.
Yeah, and I think
tension they had. It's like, all right.
Yeah, I think that's like what also sort of solidified whether or not that was her in the bedroom in episode 4.
Yeah.
And granted, her husband coming back from the dead and everything, and
Mm-hmm.
basically still being a douchebag and everything. But then you have Toranaga that's like, come on, get on with it. Like divorce your husband,
Yeah.
or I think he's gonna decide to like kill him or something.
Hopefully he kills
Or
him. He
Tom
deserves to be
Hardy
killed.
like kills him and everything. I'm Tom Hardy guy. But yeah, that was like a big talking point after like episode 4 for Patty and I. It's like, was that her? Like, was that like?
I'm surprised no one's come out and confirmed. Like, yes, it was her.
That's true. I guess like once you kind of end it, like if the love story kind of continues, then you can probably say it was her. But as
it's for sure gonna continue. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming, right? But opposed to that, there's what I believe with these like 3 episodes. There's a lot of story. There's a lot of build up.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's almost like Game of Thrones, where like they're making you feel for these characters, and when one of them dies at the end of like a certain, you're gonna be like, I'm heartbroken. I can't take it, and that's just basically what like they want you to kind of like build this like relationship with them.
Am I crazy, or was that a phantom sword that was like mowing people down in episode, I think 4?
The earthquake?
There was an earthquake. No, that was episode 5 with the earthquake, with the large earthquake, and then Tom Hardy saved Jackie Chan's brother from Rush Hour. Yeah. My references are terrible, but I think it was episode 4. I think Toranaga's son. Yeah, it was gold. Yeah, I have it in my notes. The end of the episode with the sword that he was like using to kill people.
So that was his swords, because if you're listening to it wasn't swords. If you're listening to when Tom Hardy character was teaching them how to use the cannons, he was showing them how to switch from the cannon ball to a chain inside of the cannon.
That's what it was.
And so I think that's my assumption, because I know in history they did shoot like chains out, and that's what like it seemed like it, because it tore him up and everything. And which was cool. But I was like, that would have sucked.
Dude, yeah, because I like stepped away from the TV and I was like, whoa, all these people are getting mowed down. What is going on?
And it's confusing because the son ends up using the sword to like kill the last guy.
Yeah,
so it's like,
that's what got me. I was like, wait, was he using a sword, like a phantom sword or ghost sword the whole time? Like, that's crazy. So yeah, I had to ask. I figured you might have seen better than I did, because I was like, what is going on right now?
Yeah, I was so confused, but then it's also like the shocker where it's like, whoa, like that was not what I was thinking. I thought he was just gonna kill the dude and be like, all right, like send him back with his like people and be like, hey, just show the other guy. But I don't know. What do you think is the thing titled Shogun? Do you think we're gonna get the gratifying ending to the season or show? I don't know if it's going to go on to another season, like that he's going to be Shogun. Is that like the ending that we're seeing?
I think we are. I think we're going to get that ending of him being crowned as Shogun, but then there's going to be a twist, which is going to lead us into the second season. I think they're going to be like, okay, yeah, you're Shogun now, and then someone's going to come out, and there's going to be like some sort of start of a war or an attack, is my assumption.
It would be something that, because like the whole reason why the dude gets killed in the end of the 4th episode is that the son is trying to like, the 2 sons basically are trying to make a name for themselves. Yeah. So it would be interesting if whether or not like Toranaga becomes Shogun, but then his son ends up having like this like bad relationship, so he like starts a clan to kind of go after. That would be kind of interesting.
That's how it seems like it's leading towards that path. Like his son has his own little crew, and they're doing stuff they shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, right. But he's also kind of like slightly approved of the stuff, but then he's like, I know my son is not the one that thought about this, and it's like, that's heartbreaking, because it's like, oh man, that sucks.
Your son's an idiot. Yeah, your son's an idiot. He's not a leader. Sorry.
I don't know. I am excited about like the next few episodes. These are definitely a lot of build up. There was like some good shots. I think one of the best shots was, you said in the brothel scene, is when they got the translator, and then the woman
cuts between the close-ups.
Well, the woman's kind of like she starts speaking, but then she like sits behind her, and then the camera like shifts to where the woman's voice is coming from the translator booth,
Mm-hmm.
basically. So it's like, oh, that's why she has like this big kind of emotional reaction, which was kind of nice. I was like, that's cool because it kind of shows the audience that like, oh, she's kind of speaking through her and stuff or
Yeah.
whatever.
I
So
really
stuff like that
like
was interesting.
the wide shots they have. Like they'll pan out and you just see the vastness of these armies. Like those are the shots that I've been like, whoa, it's a
Right?
pretty show. Yeah.
But I am still very pissed off by that fisheye lens. I'm so annoyed by it. I don't like it at
I
all.
still haven't. It still doesn't phase me.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's like for me, I'm like, I every time I'm like seeing something, I'm
Hmm.
like, oh, like because their get-ups, their uniforms, their kind of like ceremonial stuff that they like wear during like these very specific things.
Hmm.
Like I'm like, oh, that looks cool, but then like the fisheye lens makes their feet and like their lower legs blurry. So I'm like, well, I want to see what they're wearing on their shoe on their feet or whatever. I don't know. For me, I was like, I just can't get past it, but it's a good story and there's some good intense action in the middle of the fisheye lens.
You just got to focus just right
Yeah,
there.
right.
Like nothing outside of that, just right there. I had an observation, and I want to see if you've had the same observation. So I know how we look at hairstyles from back in the day, and we're kind of like not disgusted, but we're kind of confused. Like, why would you do that? So as I was watching this show, I had the observation of I think one of the old rulers was had a receding hairline and decided to shave, or because he had a receding hairline, he forced all of his people to shave their heads so he wasn't the odd man out. And I think something similar happened to or with
and
other
why
leaders.
and why like
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, it seems like a lot of the younger ones have to do that or
Hmm.
something, and then they kind of like are allowed to not do it once they're kind of like
As
in
they get
like a
older, yeah.
lordship or something or like older. Yeah,
Hmm.
there is examples of that. And I don't know how true it is, but a lot of people believe. I think either the Spaniards, like why Spanish people from Spain have like a lisp
Hmm.
in their dialect is because of one of their kings, I think, had a lisp, and
Mm.
so the population kind of like empathized and
Embrace, yeah,
began to kind of speak in that lisp, and it kind of carried on. I don't know how true that is, but there is
yeah.
examples of that where it's like you're assuming that a lot of these people are seen as like gods or
Hmm.
deities and stuff, so it's like you will kind of like and they
Follow.
talk about the one dude that died at the beginning that created this whole like council and mess is that his shadow is like so strong and overlooks everything that like it makes sense.
Yeah, you can't help but embrace it.
Yeah, right.
I will say, if that's true about the Spanish ruler, that did bring one of my favorite movie scenes of all time with Vince Vaughn. So I'll give him praise for that.
I remember what it.
It's not Wedding Crashers. It's the internship.
Oh,
Uh,
I love that
he's
movie.
having an interaction with his girlfriend, and he's like, "It's Barcelona." Favorite scene ever. Which has nothing to do with Shogun, but yeah, it still ties in somehow.
Yeah, somehow it does.
Yeah, hopefully someone's still listening to us at this point. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited for the next four episodes to kind of get like a finality of this, where it's like we can see what happens and possibly get that like a little bit more action in set
yeah,
pieces of like they're setting up the board and in a chess match, and that's sort of what it is right now. It seems like.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So let us know. This one we talked over episode 4, 5, and 6 of Shogun season 1. Let us know if you've watched Shogun episodes 4, 5, and 6. If you like them, dislike them, and please like and subscribe to Saturday Night Popcorn for more TV dinners like this.